What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about former NFL tight end Teyo Johnson. He is suing, and he actually got a win recently because the particular lawsuit that he brought to court is moving forward, and apparently it's against his ex-female boss that was coming on to him, that really wanted him to get up in those guts, and he did not want to do that, and he ended up leaving. Now, the company tried to say differently. They tried to make it seem like he was a lazy worker. That's why, his poor performance is why he got why he quit, because apparently he quit. Why he's no longer there. But apparently this is moving forward. So obviously there was sufficient amount of information that convinced the courts to move it forward. So this is a small win for him, but also I think this is a good thing overall, because what a lot of people do not understand is that men go through harassment in the workplace all the time. You see, what Me Too did, it shined all of the spotlight onto men in the workplace, as far as male bosses and their behaviors. And what happened is a lot of women were excluded from that. So only men were targeted in regards to Me Too. So a lot of men lost their careers, were fired from jobs, or kicked out of their own companies that they started due to allegations, just allegations that, as time went on, turned out to not be the case. And what happened here with Teyo Johnson, this is a guy who's fighting back. And this is what I like to see. I like to see men fighting back against these women who are harassing men in the workplace, because these women, there's no accountability for them. Nobody's gonna hold these women accountable. Like this woman here, this woman looks like you could tell this woman gets no play unless she's paying. All right, this is a woman who's probably, lived a privileged life. She's the CEO of this particular company. I tell y'all, they put women in charge of these companies that they start up, because this is basically a company that was started up by celebrity investors. And she's been propped up as the one running that particular company. And then you have this happen. This happens a lot more than y'all think. There's a lot of harassment that goes on with women towards men in the workplace, because women know that there's no consequences for their actions. So they can go there and they can use their position of power in order to coerce relations out of men. Because one, there are men who aren't going to say anything, but there are men who are going to fight back. And that's the case here with Teyo Johnson. So let's get into this article from NY Post. It says former Oakland Raiders tight end Teyo Johnson, who alleges he was harassed by his boss when he worked at a New York-based metaverse company, will be able to make his claims in court after a federal judge allowed his lawsuit to go to trial. Johnson had alleged here in court papers that the Every Realm CEO Janine Yario came on to him, urged him to sleep with his co-workers, and made lewd comments about his preferences, and uttered remarks about race. Johnson also has claimed that he was forced to quit after rejecting Yario's advances. Yario has denied the allegation. Of course she is. Of course she's going to deny it, because a lot of these women, they don't think there's consequences to their actions. They think that they can do anything in the workplace and nobody's going to hold them accountable. You even got men who get mad when other men try to hold these women accountable. This is where we are. Every Realm, whose backers include Silicon Valley venture firm Andreessen Horowitz, and which has tapped celebrity endorsers including Paris Hilton and Will Smith, has claimed that Johnson was fired due to poor performance, including falling asleep on the job, and that he made disparaging comments about women and their reproductive systems. Of course, they're going to say he was mean towards women. U.S. District Judge Paul A. Engelmeyer handed down a 41-page ruling last Friday denying a bid by every realm to force the case into arbitration. In his ruling, Engelmeyer concluded that Johnson's lawsuit pled a plausible claim of harassment and that every realm had no legal ground to force the matter into arbitration due to the recent change in the law signed by Joe Biden. So a law signed into, so a recent change in the law that was, a recent change that was signed into law by Joe Biden is what helped brought this case forward. Don't you love to hear that, right? That you have Democrat Joe Biden, who's basically, the changes that he made helped Teyo Johnson and this thirsty woman, this thirsty white woman, in his case against her and the company that she works for. You just love to see this. Absolutely. The Post has sought comment from Yario. Last March, Biden signed into law a statute known as Ending Forced Arbitration of Harassment, and into 2021, the law allows employees who sign pre-dispute arbitration agreements with their employer to pursue claims of harassment or assault in court. The new law renders an arbitration case unenforceable as to the entire case involving a viable pled of harassment dispute. Engelmeyer, who was appointed to the federal bench by Barack Obama, wrote in his decision. Engelmeyer, meanwhile, struck down a harassment claim that was filed by another ex-Every Realm employee, Catherine Yost. And this is this woman here. This is the woman here that's trying to get some, D, allegedly, out of Teyo Johnson. She's seeing that this tall ex-athlete, right, a guy that she could never get unless she paying for it, she's going to use her position to try to get some, right? Just thirsty. Yost, the 46-year-old former director of human resources at Every Realm, filed a suit against the company alleging discriminatory and illegal policies and acts, including suggestive remarks about colleagues, love lives, and orientation by Yario. So there was a woman that brought a case against this same woman. So two people are claiming that this woman is just out of control. Yost alleged that she was harassed when Yario began discussing another employee's purported love life at work. Yost alleged in court papers that Yario specifically targeted Yost with such comments such as Yost is openly bi, and Yario thought this attribute made Yost an expert on others' orientations. But Engelmeyer ruled that the alleged remarks by Yario are disconnected from any protected characteristic of the plaintiffs, according to court papers. Shane Sepnini, who represents Johnson, Yost, and another ex-employee who has filed suit against Every Realm, said that Yost's other claims, including that she was paid an annual salary of more than $100,000 less than of the men, was less experienced in similarly leveled roles, who had similar responsibilities, have not been dismissed. These are nothing more than baseless allegations from a disgruntled former employee seeking to cause harm to our company, and Every Realm spokesperson said of Yost's allegations. So what happens when you have both men and women saying that your leadership is crummy? Two people are alleging that this woman is out here being inappropriate, and she still has a job. She still has a job. It's not just men who make this. He had another woman make an allegation against her. It's a woman that think that she can just get away with anything. Every realm works hard to foster a supportive, inclusive workplace, and we will continue to defend against these lawsuits, a spokesperson for Every Realm told the Post, taking a page from the George Santos playbook. Johnson has misrepresented his career in the past and continues to lie now with these false claims. Liars tell lies, the spokesperson for the company alleged, echoing claims Every Realm has made in court filings, including a motion to dismiss and motion for sanctions. Just as the court dismissed similar bogus claims from former Every Realm employee Kathy Yost, today Johnson's lies will be exposed as this case moves forward. Well, it's moving forward, and I don't think these two people are lying on you. They're not lying on this person. What would Teyo Johnson get from lying? He quit. He wasn't fired. What would make this man quit? If he was doing so poorly at the job, why didn't you fire him? He quit. It's a different if you fired him and then you say, this is why we fired this guy. He left on his own. And this woman not only has had a man accuse her of harassment, but a woman as well. Now, again, these are allegations, but the fact that this is going to be moving forward lets me know that they believe that this woman is guilty. Every Realm has accused Johnson of making extortionate demands for a settlement totaling $1.9 million in damages. Sepanini, Johnson's Manhattan-based attorney, held the ruling on the matter involving the former NFL player. This decision is historic and precedent-setting, Sepanini told the Post. Because of Teyo Johnson's courage, future victims of harassment and racism will now get their day in open court, he said. He also told the Post that Johnson brought $500,000 in private equity investments with him into Every Realm. A company spokesperson denying this, telling the Post that Johnson, as described in their court filings, never raised $1 for their company, and that he was let go for poor performance, specifically for making disparaging comments about women administration, racking up a huge expense account bill, and falling asleep at his desk on numerous occasions. Well, he says that he quit. So I just think that it's not good, man. People are accusing the woman that you have in charge there of inappropriate behavior, and this woman is still there. It's almost like they ready to ride for this woman. Well, they better hope that they win this particular case. But the fact that it's moving forward lets me know that there's a good chance that Teyo could win this. They don't think he's lying. The judge presiding over this doesn't think he's lying, but wants more proof, right? So we'll see. We'll definitely see. So let me stay in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.